Well, hello there, everyone. It's so good to see your smiling faces. Thanks for joining us this weekend for our Kids Church Family Experience. My name is Viv Stone, and I'm the Kids Church pastor here at Christian Assembly. We welcome you with open arms. We're continuing on our Daring Faith series. Let's see if you can guess our hero of faith today. I've got 2 clues. Number 1 is stone, and the second is giant. You got it! Today we're going to hear about David and Goliath. Just like David, we can trust that God will do more than we could ever ask or imagine. Be sure to like us and share us with family and friends. Are you ready? Here we go.
Hi everyone, welcome back to our second week learning about how we can have daring faith. Today we will be learning that we can trust that God will take care of us. Who takes care of you? Maybe it's your mom or your dad, your grandma or grandpa, older brother or sister, friend, teacher. All of those people help take care of us. And I know one more person who takes care of all our needs. Do you know who it is? It's God. He will meet all of our needs because He loves us so much. If you're going to a new place for the first time, God will take care of you. If you're making a new friend, God will take care of you. And if you're in a scary situation, God will take care of you then too, no matter what. God gives us everything we need, and it's one of the many reasons why we worship Him with our tithes and our offerings and with our singing. See, we give money to God because it's one of the ways that we get to tell Him, thank you. He's done everything for us, and He has given us so much, and there are so many ways that He takes care of us. So if you want to worship God in this way by giving Him an offering, you can put it in your family's offering jar or any container that you have at your house, and you can send that to church at any time. We joyfully give to God because He loves us so much and because He has given us everything. And we're going to worship in just a minute, but first, it's time for a marble race.
to think about the goodness of the Lord. He gives me everything I need and so much more. So I just want to lift my hands and say that I love Him. I just want to lift my heart in praise. And I want to be thankful. I want to be grateful. I want to remember everything that the Lord has done. I want to be thankful. I want to be grateful. I want to be, I want to be, I want to be. I like to think about the goodness of the Lord. He gives me everything I need and so much more. So I just want to lift my hands and say that I love Him. I just want to lift my heart in praise. And I want to be thankful. I want to be grateful. I want to remember everything that the Lord has done. I want to be thankful. I want to be grateful. I want to be, I want to be, I want to be thankful. I want to be grateful. I want to remember everything that the Lord has done. I want to be thankful. I want to be grateful. I want to be, 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 I want to be.
There might be times when we have to face things that are scary. Maybe you're scared of spiders, or the dark, snakes, or even chickens. Yes, friends, I'm scared of chickens. See, everyone gets scared sometimes. See, when we get scared, there are usually things that make us feel better. Maybe you have a favorite stuffed animal, or a favorite blanket that gives you comfort. Maybe it's a big hug from your mom or dad. I know that big hugs help us feel better because we know that there is someone strong taking care of us. Well, God is bigger than the biggest hug you've ever gotten, and He is always there to take care of us too. Today in our Bible story, we're learning about a man named David. He loved God so much, and he knew that God would always take care of him. Let's take a look.
There once was a giant named Goliath who taunted the Israelite army, yelling terrible things about God and hurling insults at them. The Israelites were terrified of him. Even King Saul was afraid. Goliath asked for one Israelite soldier to fight him, man to man, but no one would come forward except for a young shepherd boy named David. David went to King Saul of the Israelites and said, "I will fight Goliath. I am not afraid." King Saul doubted David because he was only a boy, and he said, "Don't be ridiculous. There's no way you can win." But David told Saul about how he had scared off and killed fierce and wild animals that had tried to get his father's sheep, and how he used his shepherd's staff and his slingshot to protect the flock. David knew that with God on his side, he could do the same to Goliath. So King Saul let David go, but he made David try on his own armor to use as protection. The armor was heavy and clunky, and David was not used to it, so he chose to leave the armor behind. He knew in his heart that he only needed God's protection, his slingshot, and 5 smooth stones to defeat the giant. Goliath laughed at David when he approached him, calling him bad names and taunting him too. But David was not afraid. He said to Goliath, "God will hand you over to me, and I will strike you down. It is God who will conquer you, and I will win." And so, David put one smooth stone into his slingshot, aimed right at Goliath, and fired. Goliath fell to the ground, dead. And so, the giant was defeated by a young shepherd boy named David.
David believed that God would take care of him. None of the other Israelites wanted to fight Goliath because they were too scared. But David remembered how God protected him when he had to fight off the lions and bears when he was protecting his father's sheep. He knew that God would be with him now, too, when he was facing Goliath. And David defeated Goliath with just a rock. David knew that he could fight Goliath because God was on his side and God would protect him. It wasn't about how strong or weak or little David was. It was about how powerful God is. Just like David, the Bible tells us that we can trust God to take care of us too. When we're feeling sad, scared, or even angry, we can remember that God promises to take care of us. We too can have daring faith like David. Will you repeat our Bible point after me? Just like David, I can trust that God will take care of me.
Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
David had daring faith and trust that God was going to always take care of him. When someone launches a rocket into outer space, they are trusting that Mission Control is going to do whatever they need to do to keep them safe as they go into outer space. Today, we're going to make a daring faith placemat. So go ahead and grab this out of your craft bag. And we are just going to take some time to color it whatever way we'd like to. And in the middle is our scripture verse. And it says, with God's power working in us, God can do much, much more than anything we can ask or imagine. Ephesians 3:20. So Sam and I are going to color our placemat. So go ahead and take some time and color yours as well. Here's how Jordan's placemat turned out. It looks great. So just like the astronauts trust that Mission Control is going to take care of them, we can have daring faith and trust that God will take care of us as well. Now let's pop the bubbles so we can see our verse.
Winston, what are you doing over there?
I'm training, Hector.
This is serious business.
Oh, yeah? So serious you gotta go down the slide?
I'm practicing the landing.
Come on, Winston, you aren't an astronaut.
Of course I am.
Stop fooling yourself. What do you expect to happen?
Well, I'm expecting to go up into space, find out whatever's wrong, fix it, and save Scupperton.
Yeah, that's the best case scenario.
Exactly. I'm expecting the best.
Why?
Because I trust Han to figure this out.
Winston, you know what you need? You need to be more practical.
No, I don't. Hector, you need to be more trusting. Haven't you learned that with God, anything is possible?
You're impossible.
It's gonna be okay, Hector. Trust me. Now come on. Let's go down the slide together.
Not even a chance, Winston.
Come on, Hector.
Good morning and welcome to space.
It stands for Scapeton Program of Aeronautics and Celestial Endeavors.
Space.
Well, that's confusing.
Well, that doesn't matter. What does matter is we have a launch today. We're going to space. The first frontier.
Don't you mean the final frontier?
Yes, that's what I said. It's gonna take a lot of hard work and teamwork to pull this off. Are you up for the challenge?
Yeah!
Now, let's begin. Mr. Han, warp speed ahead.
We haven't taken off yet, Lester, and our ship doesn't have warp speed.
Okay, I'll just play with these things.
Well, this is it. I just need to expect the best and trust God.
Well, what are you waiting for? That rocket isn't gonna take off by itself.
Hector, what are you doing here?
I'm dressed in a spacesuit. What do you think I'm doing here? I'm going with you.
But I thought you said this was a bad idea.
Well, it is a bad idea, but you're not going alone. No, sir.
Hey, Hector.
What?
Thanks.
Yeah, whatever. But I blame you for getting me into this mess. You know that, right?
Yep.
Right before Winston was going to step into that rocket, he said that he would need to trust God. I know that if I were getting on a rocket, I would definitely need to trust that God would take care of me. Now, in any scary situation, whether it's facing a giant like David did, getting on a rocket like Winston did, or even taking care of chickens like I've had to do before, we can trust that God will take care of us. The Bible tells us that God knows what's best for us. Do you remember our Bible verse? It's God's power working in us that helps us do more than we could ever ask or imagine. So this week, if you're scared or if you're going to be brave by trying something new for the very first time, I encourage you to say a prayer to God and ask Him to be with you. Actually, let me just pray for all of us right now as we end our time together. God, thank you for the promises that you give us in the Bible. Just like David, we want to trust you and remember that you will always take care of us. Please help us to remember that we can trust you no matter what we're feeling. You will always meet our needs, God, and we are so thankful. We love you so much. Amen. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I hope that this week you can have daring faith no matter what happens. See you next time.
Hi, everyone. Did you enjoy today's Kids Church Family Experience? We sure enjoyed it. Here is today's riddle. What has hands and a face, but can't hold anything or smile? A clock. We'll see you all next week.